Gemini, welcome to your Celtic Cross reading. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. Let's jump on into it. Show me what I need to see, please. For Gemini, what's going on for Gemini, please? Show me, Gemini. What is going on for Gemini? Show me, Gemini, please. As always, these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not. Show me, Gemini. King of Wands, beautiful, beautiful, lovely energy, passionate, creative. Five of Swords is crossing you. You doubt your confidence. Why? Why? You're saying, I don't know if that's true. Why? What's hovering above you? Strength, sense of pride, conviction, having to be strong. Why do you doubt yourself? Do you think you're having to put on a brave face and that you don't necessarily mean it? Relevant past, holding on, Four of Pentacles. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean it's true right now, but I can see that you, in the relevant past, held on to something. What's exiting? The High Priestess. I don't like that. The future, Knight of Cups. Okay. That's very curious. You're showing me some very curious elements, but of course you do. You're Gemini. Why wouldn't you? Okay. And your strengths, moving forward, the Chariot, the strength of your heart, your conviction, your movement in this life, your environment. You working. Eight of Pentacles. I'm busy. Hopes and fears. Moving forward. Do you want to? And if so, what direction? Your outcome. Two of Wands. Decision to make. Okay. Okay. We got some decisions here. I got a little bit of everything, of course. I have some intrigue for you. I've got stability for you. I've got some emotional inquiry for you. But let's start right here with that King of Wands. And why do you feel perhaps that's not correct? Do you feel that you are having to be confident this time, but you don't necessarily feel that way? What's going on with this King of Wands? Show me. Show me the King of Wands, please. Show me that King of Wands, please. Show me that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands. Show me that King of Wands, please. The Fool, Eight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. You talked yourself out of something. Why did you do that? You talked yourself out of something. You meant to. You intended to. Your passion was there. Your drive was there. You talked yourself out of something. You wanted to open up. You did. I see it. You wanted to open up. Boom. That full energy. Blasts wide open. You put him up with the King of Wands. Holy cow, there's nothing he can't do. You had very strong, passionate, desirous energy here that says, I want to open up. I want to take a risk. I want to try out new adventures. New adventures, yay! And you were headed in that direction, no matter how slowly with the Knight of Pentacles, but somewhere along the length of that journey, no matter how long it took, you talked yourself out of it with the Eight of Swords. And you said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to open up like that. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. It was so slow, honey. Your energy was moving in a particular direction that felt good. Your energy was confident. It was attractive. And there's something here you very much wanted to open yourself up towards, but it was moving so slowly. It's like you had time to talk yourself out of it. You were moving in that direction. You were doing just fine. But then you overthought it. Eight of Swords shut it down. Okay, you see your intention. I don't know what this is that you were trying to blast yourself open towards, but now I'm seeing that Five of Swords. Did you talk yourself out of it? It looks like you did. You're saying, no, that's self-deceptive. It's not correct. Show me that Five of Swords, please. I'm going to open up. I know I'm going to do it. 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 Maybe not. What happened here with that Five of Swords? Show me that Five of Swords, please. Judgment, the Devil, Tower. Oh boy, that's, oh honey, oh some shit went down. Okay. Whew. That blast, that energetic blast, that fear kept you from opening up. You had the opportunity to really reveal yourself to yourself. You had the opportunity to make radical change. You had the opportunity, I don't know if it was that radical, but it was something that you were moving in a particular direction with judgment here. You had that opportunity before you to open up and to really blast something open, to really reveal yourself. And I keep getting that revelation. Reveal, reveal, Gemini, reveal. Reveal yourself, reveal yourself. And you had an opportunity, and it spoke to you so very, very strongly, but the fear took over and said, no, 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 I can't do that. To do that would cause my own demise. And instead of it actually being true, I think you told yourself it was true. If I dare to open up towards this, it will be my demise. I think you told yourself that. Not that it was true, but that you told yourself it was, and that was coming from a place of fear. How you had the opportunity to open yourself, I don't know. Could have been a situation, circumstance, work, family, a love type situation, I don't know. I know it provoked some very naturally lovely, warm feelings in you. And you had this moment where I think you got very, very close to being like, okay, I'm going to say what I need to say or do what it is I need to do. I'm going to open up towards this. On second thought, no. And that was fear talking. As far as I can tell, that was 100% fear talking. It would have, in your mind, been tantamount to disaster if you had opened yourself up towards this. You were on the verge of it. You were on the brink of it. You got so close. You got so close, but then you talked yourself out of it. Eight of Swords. I'm going to take whatever it is I'm feeling to a headspace and not say it, convey it, feel it. And that came from fear. And it looks like it was a judgment call. You know, that this was important to you. And it was your time. It was your time to reveal yourself, your feelings. I don't know. But it was like, if I do this, it'll be disastrous. No. Strength. Show me strength, please. The influential energy that surrounds you. Show me strength, please. Show me strength. Yeah. The Magician. Queen of Cups. The Hierophant. You very much desire and are manifesting love. With who? I don't know. I don't know if that's a commitment. I don't know if this is your higher self, but your higher self, bare minimum, would like to pull in love, and it's actually quite strong. I see you manifesting something or someone who represents love, Queen of Cups. You actually want a huge sense of feeling of love for yourself and with someone else. It's a calling that's quite strong, and you are manifesting this. Okay, you are manifesting this. And that's with you today. This is present-oriented energy. Very present. Very loud, present-oriented energy. And here's my thing about the manifestation, especially when we're manifesting love for ourselves, someone else. You have to know that you want it. Okay, or we're going to reject it. And I see you rejecting something that meant a lot to you. But it's like, if I do that, it'll be tantamount to it's almost like you change the subject. It's almost like you blew something up on purpose because you doubted yourself too much. Something was said or not said that pulled what your intentions were in a completely different direction. And the whole topic, whatever this is, got taken off track from the goal. The goal is that you want love, very much so, powerfully so. Spiritual love, emotional love, a love that fits you. You feel this with love will strengthen your heart. But then something happened here that says, I'm going to address this. No, I'm not. In fact, I'm going to change the subject. And it blew up. And it came out of fear. What we had intended, there was something else intended here. Change for your benefit. You had that opportunity. And I think what we have here is that because we were so really ultimately afraid to open up towards this, we ended up making it worse. By changing the subject, bringing up something else, it was a form of self-sabotage. It's kind of like saying, here's my moment to shine and reveal myself. I'm not going to do that. In fact, I'm going to bring up this other point. And it really brought the house down. It's like I'm going to blow this up before it has a chance to blow up on me by not really addressing what I need to address. And it's almost like something else was brought up altogether that really, well and truly, brought the cards down. Okay. It ran contrary to our goal. It ran contrary to our feeling. It's almost like you unintentionally pushed someone away or pushed something away when you had the opportunity to open up towards it. And it's almost like you changed topics, and it's like you knew it would blow up. You knew it would blow up if you said that. You were on a completely different path. It's like, I know this house of cards is going to fall down, so I might as well be the one to do it. And that came from fear. And yet what you want is so beautiful. It's so simple. It's so beautiful. You might have some Taurus, Leo in your chart. That's not the point. What you wanted is so very, very simple, so very beautiful. And it calls to you still. You call it still. Four of Pentacles in the relevant past. Show me this Four of Pentacles plays in the relevant past. What are we holding on to? What are we used to holding on to? Some of this Four of Pentacles, please. King of Cups. The Lovers. Eight of Pentacles. We very much desired this energy, and we still do. Okay. It's not an accusation. It is what it is. It's what crowns you, and it's what's beneath you. In other words, it's still with you. Very much so. It was a key element to your relevant past, and it feels pretty fresh. And it's still with you to this day. Okay. And what's right smack in the middle of it is what looks like you unintentionally pushing it away when you had the chance to open up towards it. And there was so much fear in revealing ourselves. Somehow we ended up blowing it up. Like you knew you said something possibly it's almost like you knew but didn't know. By you saying this, it would really blow things up. And yet what you wanted is with you at all times. It was in your past. As far as I can tell, it's the same energy. King, Queen of Cups, the Lovers, you, Eight of Pentacles. I want to work on this, and we held on to it for a long time. We didn't let it go. We were stubbornly holding on to it, and I can see why. It's a damn powerful connection, and it's beautiful, and there's a lot of love in it. Somebody had their heart attached to you, and they wanted to cooperate with you very much. It's beneath you and it crowns you, and in the center was what looks like a disaster. In a way, you were correct, honey. You said this was going to be a disaster, and it was, but it wasn't for the reasons you thought. It was for very different reasons. Something was said or done here that we knew would blow the situation up, but we don't want it to leave us either. When it hit hard. I don't know how aware of it you are. It's kind of like what was always headed in this direction anyway. I might as well just blow the thing up, but it's like I know you weren't doing that consciously. I don't think you were doing it consciously. That's the thing about the Five of Swords, honey. The Five of Swords is absolute bitch. We get to reject that we're doing that kind of stuff, you know. Why would we? We want love, right? So why would I reject that? It was fear. High Priestess is on the exit. Your intuition. Show me this High Priestess, please. Show me this High Priestess. Show me this High Priestess. It doesn't look non-specific. It looks like a very specific situation. It it does look like a very elaborate spiritual form of pushing someone away. We could have opened up to it, but instead, somehow we made things worse. Five of Cups, the pain, Five of Pentacles, separation, anxiety, Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. I'm actually not saying that is you. I believe this is the other person. Someone who is highly intuitive. I'm not saying that you're not highly intuitive. I just don't feel like it's you. This is someone who's accepting full pain, loss, rejection. Intuitively, their intuition is such they can't seem to feel themselves in their connection to you. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, that's emotional abandonment, that's physical abandonment, Nine of Swords. Stress, pain, loss, and it's like they can't hear themselves intuitively through all the pain. That's a lot of pain. Sadness, disappointment. It's almost like they're saying, I always knew I had to do this, or I always knew I was going to have to deal with this or do it myself. I always knew it and I didn't want to hear it. It's like they're saying, I always knew, I just didn't want to hear it, or I didn't want to deal with it. But I always knew it was going to be me. I didn't listen to myself, they're saying. It was always going to be like this. I was always going to be separated. And I didn't listen to myself, and they're kind of saying that's the price I'm having to pay for not listening to myself. They had very strong intuition, I believe, but in this connection with you, they always felt separated from it. And it's like, if I had just listened to myself, I wouldn't be in this position. There's a lot of stress in that person. This feeling, I knew this was always going to happen between us. And that's the price I pay for not having listened to myself. Show me that Knight of Cups, please. Show me that Knight of Cups, please. There is, or there stands, your emotional expression, your vulnerability. Show me this Knight of Cups, please. The Moon. Ace of Cups. Six of Pentacles. What you may not fully understand, because it's under the Moon, your emotional expression, your love, your Ace of Cups. And your Six of Pentacles is that you still, within your moon energy, desire to express yourself to this person in the way that you did not, I believe, before. There's so much in you that you never said, but you always wanted to say. It's under the moon. You have the opportunity to reveal yourself. I saw that very strongly in the opening. And I know you thought you were going to open yourself up to it, and you probably told yourself that. I'm really going to say what I need to say. I'm going to say it. I'm going to represent myself. I'm going to clear the air. I'm going to speak my thoughts, I'm going to speak my feelings, and at some point you lost sight of that. And somehow you self-sabotaged it in a way that pushed them away, and it's like you knew you would push them away in the back of your mind. And to this day, there's still feelings in you that have never been spoken about the situation or to this person. There is a love deep within you that you very much wish you could balance with. Specifically, the expression of your emotions in a way that's fair. It's like you never got to do that. You're right, you didn't. You had the opportunity. And I think that's one of the things that plays havoc on you. If it was going to blow up and if we were going to separate, I never got to say my feelings or express them. And that's still within you. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's all the stuff you wish you had revealed. It's kind of like if we were going to break, at least I could have said my feelings or my piece before this happened. And we didn't take that opportunity. It's like my feelings must forever remain a secret, even to me. There is so much good feeling in you. There is so much natural love in you for this situation person. And there's that sense of fairness. I never got to tell them how I feel. Yeah. Let's take a look at your chariot. Show me that chariot, please, and Gemini strength. That person's, I'm not going to lie, they have a fair amount of emotional intensity attached to them, but I see it mostly stemming from guilt. You both had parts to play in this. I see how you pushed them away even if it was unconsciously done. I believe something was said that you knew would piss them off. And that was just a representation of fears on your end, I believe. Where you meant to do one thing, you ended up doing another. Where you wanted to open yourself, you almost made sure that it got shut down. And their reaction is to assume a great deal of responsibility. What I see them saying to themselves is that I always knew this was going to happen. I just didn't want to listen to myself. Show me that chariot, please. Show me that chariot. Show me that chariot. Show me that chariot. Show me that chariot. This is very intricate. The love is still very much with you. And you, again, be careful with this because I still see you desiring their love. Okay. There is something about this person's energy that feels very warm and natural to you. And you would summon it still. Your higher self would summon it. The connection was quite strong. And we held on to it for a long time. But despite the feeling of the heart being here, it was not expressed correctly. Queen of Swords, Nine of Wands, Three of Wands, okay. Oh, there's a kind of determination in you to firm up your energy, to kind of get hard with yourself. It's kind of like you're telling yourself, stop waiting on this chariot to arrive, stop waiting on these feelings to arrive. You need to take a different direction. Gemini, you have other things you need to do. I see you being very firm with yourself and telling yourself to move forward and to kind of leave your feelings out of it. It's kind of like saying it is what it is. And to block any hope of waiting, something like that. It's a very rough translation of I need to move forward. And you're being a little hard on yourself, but it's also like I cannot afford energetically this idea of hope. I understand you don't want any false hope, but you are telling yourself, I need to move on. It is what it is, it's done. Okay? It is what it is, it's done. I gotta move my chariot on to different places now. Again, very firm, and you're trying to remain emotionally detached. Okay? Let's see that Eight of Pentacles in your environment. Show me that Eight of Pentacles, please. Working. You're working. Show me that Eight of Pentacles. Show me that Eight of Pentacles, please. Eight of Cups, Six of Swords, Four of Swords. You're not particularly happy. Six of Swords is here twice. You're trying to move on, like I said. Trying to show no emotional attachment to this thing that you're trying to move on from. And you are trying to heal. You're working. There is something there that is ringing hollow in your environment. Okay? In other words, you don't feel too terribly emotionally attached to stuff right now, including work. And there you are again telling yourself, move on, move on, move on. And that's the very thing that you fear. And also hope. In other words, it's kind of like I've already seen you not once but twice tell yourself you need to let it go, move on from it. And that's one of the things you hope to do, but also fear to do. Let us see. Show me that Six of Swords, please. Show me that Six of Swords. Show me that Six of Swords, please. This is to be one of the saddest ones I've done for you. Because simply, honey, it's that level of love, that level of love. You had it. You were working on it with this person, but something went down. Six of Swords. The Moon. King of Cups. Judgment. Even while you tell yourself to move on, and I understand why. Of course you would. You don't mean it. It's not an accusation. You hope somewhere deep down there in the moon waters that it'll come back. That person's love. They have such a huge heart in your estimation. I told you they're very emotional, and they seem to take emotional security very highly. King and Queen of Cups typically do. They need emotional reassurance, otherwise it's a waste of time in their heart. There's no point in me having big feelings for you if you don't return them. So yes, every king and queen, be they fire, pentacle, air, need their own form of reassurance. The cup is no different. Yes, this is someone who has very strong feelings and very strong heart, and they're absorbing a lot of pain, and they're telling themselves they should have known better, and if they were listening to themselves, they would have known this was going to happen. It was almost inevitable in their heart. You associate them highly with intuition, highly as an emotional being. You keep saying, I identify them as someone who has big feelings. Thing is, you do too. You just don't believe it. You attribute them. They have a lot of emotional needs. They have a lot of emotional needs. So do you. So while they have a huge heart space and they have a huge heart space for you, you have feelings for them too. I think you came across your juncture timeline with this person where you had the opportunity to reveal yourself. And you talked yourself out of it. And not only that, it's like you almost assured that you pushed them away in some way, just to make sure that you never really had to. And they're still with you in your heart, in your immediate future, even while in reality and in practically speaking, you say, I gotta let this go. I gotta give up hope for it. My chariot has other places to be. And they are still with you. Even as you hope to move forward and get on with your life, your moon is as active now as it ever was. It's everything you never said, honey. Your feelings, whatever they are, be they good, be they negative, your feelings are your feelings and you're entitled to them. That's what feelings are. But you still very much desire that same figure, King of Cups, Judgment, to come back. But again, it's under your moon. Even as you hope to move forward, you fear to simultaneously. And you seem to think it's them, that you want them to come back secretly. That it's your responsibility to move on. But again, under your moon, in an unconscious way, in a way that you're not fully recognizing, you hope that they will find their way back to you. I know you yearn for this person's feelings. It's like they have so much water in them. They have so much love in them. You keep telling me that's who they are. You point it out over and over again. I believe you. They have absorbed a great deal of pain. And they have assumed a great deal of pain. the biggest thing by far I got from that person's energy is if I had listened to my intuition, none of this would have happened. I always knew how this was going to end up. That's some pretty intense ass kicking right there. So the odds of them making a judgment call to come back are very small. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're secretly hoping that this person will come back to throw that kind of love on you again without you expressing it yourself, I got to give you honesty on that. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. All things are possible. Are the odds good? No. And I know you understand odds, honey. No, probably not. And am I saying is it your responsibility to come forward and offer commitment? No, honey, I don't do tarot readings like that. That's stupid. What I'm saying is, if you have emotions in you and you can really get in there and address your moon, not once but twice, you understand how imperative it is for you to speak to your feeling, if nothing else. Because it seems to me they spoke to their feelings many, many times. Okay? And that's how you keep seeing them. There's someone who is so emotionally bold, so claiming, this is what I feel. That's all they are. That's all they do. Am I saying that they're the perfect person? Fuck no. There's no such thing. Look at that. Even they know it. Even I don't care how intuitive they are. That's the thing that they're pissing themselves up about. I know I'm intuitive and I knew this shit was going to happen. And I didn't listen to myself. That's why all this pain is my fault. So no, there's no such thing as a perfect person. You two have a particular dynamic I can't begin to untangle, but I believe I understand in my own way. My point is that you desired it in the past because they seem to be a true fit. Energetically as well as in the 3D. And you desire them still. And what there is a heap of mess in between you. Is it possible to be resolved? Yes, but that requires us to go within in our moon and really look at it and understand our desires and how we've been ignoring them, not revealing them, now letting ourselves to be vulnerable, because you seem to think vulnerability is a scary thing. The Gemini I'm looking at, you're saying to open up is terrifying, particularly where the feeling, and I think that's why, honey, you are so drawn to this person, because they're the opposite of that. They're the opposite of that person. They seem to have no problem. It's almost like you're irritated with them for that reason. But it's like you can't help but admire them. They always say what they're feeling. They always say what they're thinking. And it's something that you yourself say you just cannot do. Two of Wands. Show me that 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 Two of Wands, please. Oh, how interesting. The stars. Death. Knight of Cups. You got to make up your mind, honey. You're going to have to make up your mind. That's your decision as the Two of Wands. It's like I said, the odds of them coming back, which, again, the Gemini I'm looking at. So there's a good chance the Gemini who's watching this and resonates is probably the least likely to admit it. Between the Five of Swords, the Devil, and the Moon twice. The Gemini I'm looking at, it's you already clicked off this one and said, no, that's not mine. Perhaps it's not. You have so much within you and then you say you don't. That's not true. You have to make up your mind. That idea that you hope secretly within your moon that they'll come back, like I said, is very, very low. Everything I need to know of that, not because they're mad at you. They're more mad at themselves, I see. Much more mad at themselves. They're taking a lot of responsibility here. I always knew it was going to be like this. I always knew this was how it's going to end up, and it's my fault for allowing it to happen. I wasn't listening to myself. I always knew this was a one-way street, something like that. So no, the odds of them coming back and saying, here's all this love again, very low. You, however, you actually have the energetic distinction of it making it happen, but you have to believe that. You seem to think that that hope is dead. That dream is dead, that vision is dead, that desire is dead, and yet the Knight of Cups remains the very one that you say you can't express or that you don't have feelings for. It's a little bit more than I care about you. It's a little bit more than I like you. The choice remains. You can tell yourself that wish is dead and over, but your feelings for this are going to remain so long as they remain hidden to you or the situation. Then you may never know what could happen or could be. But it requires that same emotional vulnerability that you say is impossible to open up, to show yourself balance and justification of your own feelings by revealing them. You don't seem to understand. You're not just withholding feelings from this person, you're withholding them from you too, which means you're not being your most authentic self, which means you are harming yourself, which means you are discrediting yourself. Everything begins with the self. In your mind and in your heart, you're keeping your feelings hidden from them. You're really keeping them hidden from you. Everybody else just receives the extent of the decisions we make. If this person was so bold as to say, Gemini, I love you. I'm happy to cooperate and work with you. You want that cup so bad. Hoping that they'll come back around, but like low-key? No, not really. I'm not talking about assholes, guys. I'm talking about someone whose love was very loud and apparent to you. Like you would have to go out of your way to miss it. You know they represent love. Particularly the free form of it. They seem to have no problem expressing themselves. So no. It seems like they were very emotionally generous with you, and that's the very thing you want to pull back from them. You want the strength of that person's feelings on you again, to wash on you again. But it would require you revealing yourself, and you're saying that's just something I could never do. And in fact, I pretty much made sure that I'll never have to. Something happened, rather sizable, where we all but guaranteed we pushed the other person away. So no. That's what I'm saying. The odds of them just coming back are very low. That was some serious shit that went down. And we did it, I think, unconsciously. We said something that we would know pissed them off or make them reject us. Or we said something they know they would disapprove of. Because that's how large that energy is. When you had the opportunity to go like this, you went like this. I'm not trying to pick on you, honey. I'm just trying to understand. That's all my job is. I don't dictate the cards that come out. So if you're not into real tarot, you probably shouldn't be here. There's plenty of other readers on YouTube who will tell you what you want to hear in 10 minutes. This is serious. And I don't like false hope. You don't either. You keep telling yourself, don't hope for that, don't wait for it. Move yourself forward, Gemini. And there is an emotional tedium in you that feels like I'm not particularly attached to anything right now. And that would make sense to me if we've spent so much of our time rejecting what we feel. Of course you're going to feel a little hollow, yes. Is the decision with them? Yeah. Are the odds really, really low? Yeah. I see it more as resting with you. Two of Wands is literally active decision making. You could go left or you could go right. I would pose you this. You've already picked left. You have one other side you could try. The one that you didn't choose the last time you interacted with them. Emotional vulnerability. This is me actually opening up using my words. It's not just romanticism, guys. Me saying these things about myself makes me feel very vulnerable, so I hope that you will listen to me. These are what my feelings are. And this is what I've always wanted to say. There was a balance in my heart when it comes to you too. It's a choice to believe that it's over. And like I said, you already went Avenue B, perhaps try Avenue A. That one. This is literally a choice, guys. You can't fuck this up. I mean, you can do. It's a choice, and it's an active one too. I can choose to believe it's over. My hopes, my desires, my dreams, that's not what I meant to do. Or I can open up. But no, I have to tell you this right now, even while you're telling yourself to move on, this moon feeling you have, maybe one day it'll come back of their own free will. No, I think you know that's not going to happen. Especially when they're carrying so much weight of guilt and a sense of responsibility. It's almost like they're saying, I knew Gemini never had feelings for me or something like that. And the thing is, they don't know it's true, or that the opposite is true. And they're right, they don't know. So what else can they do but assume that? I see you withholding it at multiple references. Perhaps you don't know that your own feelings are. So no, I'm not talking about a bad person. You've not told me once that they're a bad person. And the fact that perhaps they are very emotional. That's one of the reasons why you love them. What is so easy for them is so hard for you. And I think you admire that. It's like, I would love to be where you are. You are where they are, honey. The only difference is that they said it and you didn't. That's it. I believe. You have that choice, honey. It's within you. Other than that, I don't see too much else. I do see you working. I see yourself determined to move on, even if none of those things feel terribly thrilling. And you're trying to keep your mind sharp. And not advocate false hope. It's rough. It's hard. A part of you hopes. And you tell yourself not to. I understand. Tell yourself to move on. To have no feeling for this. Again, it's going to be easy to reject our feelings when we don't acknowledge them. So I can see that you're telling yourself you have no feeling for this. You do. You can't move on from feelings that you don't recognize that you have, honey. That's just the way it is. What you will do, I don't know. But it is your decision. Realistically, I can honestly tell you I don't believe this person's coming back of their own free will. But the decision does rest on you. It's your secret hope, even if you don't really admit it to yourself. So again, I don't think you're that person who had a very bad something with somebody, and you're like, it was really, really bad and really, really shitty. I hope they come back. Do you have any idea how many times I see those comments that are fucking ludicrous? They're such a bad person. They treated me like shit. I want them to come back and say that they love me. No, you don't. It will go back to shit. And that's not the situation I'm seeing. Okay? That's not the situation I'm saying. You crave this person's heart. And you also crave to reveal your heart. And I think you got really close. Really fucking close. To doing exactly that. But instead it's kind of like we took a stick of dynamite to the situation instead of, I don't know. We had a demolition here happen as opposed to, say, hanging out by the pool. Hanging out by the pool where you're sort of just relaxed and you're chilling. You're talking about feelings in a nice, easy, natural way. You're hanging out at the pool. You know, you got your sunglasses on. You're chilling. It's a nice day at the pool. And instead, we went to a demolition site. There was a chance for you to dive in some waters in an easy way. This is how I feel, splash, splash, splash. That's how I feel, splash, splash, splash. And I'm not saying it was going to be all lovey-dovey. What I'm saying, it was just natural, honest feelings. You know? Doesn't mean it's going to go somewhere. But you can't live life like that. It may not go somewhere, so I better not reveal my feelings at all. You can't do that, otherwise we deny ourselves everything that feels strong and natural to us. If we live by that thing about what if, we are inevitably going to get hurt by it because we're too afraid. As much as we desire it, we'll push it away too. There are no guarantees. That's why all we can do is right by ourselves. This is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I want to think, feel, and experience with you. What say ye, you know? Are we on the same page? I think you got so close. So fucking close. To hanging out by the pool with this person and just having a nice, easy revelation of feelings where two people can work through them. Produce something out of it. To, well, here's some dynamite. I'm going to blow this shit up real quick. And, so yeah, is it your decision? Yes. But it's a choice to believe that it's over or to open up and express yourself. Stop denying the feelings that you have. Take ownership of them. Even if it amounts to nothing, you can still say, at the end of the day, you did right by you. It's painful, honey. It's painful. I can't begin to tell you. Being the Knights of Cups. It's such a painful, scary thing. These are my feelings as I best understand them. Okay? This is how I'm willing to work through them with you. And I wanted you to know. This is my truth as I best understand it. It's a scary thing. You seem to think your person has no problem with that. What you feel is what you feel too. Just for some reason you think you deny yourself the skill. I don't know. Yes, I see it as your decision, not theirs. I can see why privately on the inside you're quietly hoping that they'll come back. Given that, I don't know. I don't know. But it is your choice. We have choice in all things. I see you rejecting the idea of moving forward towards this ever again. Move on from it. I understand. I get it. But you're always going to feel emotionally restless because you never gave yourself emotional peace with this. I don't know. Honey, I don't know. If we do everything based on outcome, we will never do anything. What if I put myself out there and I fail? No, you only fail if you don't try. And you do yourself a disservice. And you fail yourself when you're not honest with yourself. That's the only time there's real failure. Even if they say, well, thank you for letting me know, Gemini, I appreciate it, but I think there's too much pain between us. That's still honest. It's still honest. If we get ourselves wrapped up in outcome, we won't do a damn thing. It's about honoring thyself. It's about honoring thyself, even if there isn't what you might call a positive outcome from it. You have no idea. That's scary. And let me tell you something. It takes work to become this. This doesn't happen overnight. You can be born a Scorpio. This is Scorpio's card. You could be born a Scorpio. That doesn't mean all Scorpios automatically know how to do this. This takes years of work and effort to say, I'm going to walk around in this life being an emotionally honest being. I live through my heart. That takes years of practice. I know that through your eyes they make it look easy, but I promise you this person had their ass kicked many times to keep themselves emotionally open. You know, that comes from years of experience, consequences, getting your heart broken, and to say, fuck it, I'm still me. This is still me. So I know you think it's so easy for them, but we all have to start somewhere. And the Gemini I'm looking at, you need to start somewhere. Okay? That takes work, honey. That takes years and years of work. You think it's easy to become a King, Queen of Swords overnight? Air being your symbol? Okay, your element. Sword being your symbol, excuse me. You think you were just born into that? It took years to develop your intellectual curiosity. It took years for you to develop your sense of duality. It took years for you to be that person who can pull complex thoughts together where everybody can understand or appreciate it. You know? It doesn't happen overnight. Why would it be any different for emotions? Fire, Pentacle. King and Queen of Pentacle aren't born that way. They have to earn that shit. They have to earn their practicality. They have to earn their stability. They have to earn their sense of self. Okay? This stuff takes time. And you struggle with your Knight of Cups, in which is just straight up vulnerability. Can you do it? Yes. Will you allow yourself? Two different things. You got really close. You got really close to hanging out by the pool with this. I don't know why I keep getting that. Why do I keep getting that? You're hanging out by the pool with this person. What is that? There's something in there I can't see. I want to hang out in the pool with that person. Something. Why do I keep getting the pool image? Have we seen this person at the pool, or we've just relaxing, being playful, intimate? Always wanted to. There's some sort of fantasy in here. I can't quite see it, but hang out with this person by the pool, possibly a date at the pool, something like that. Like to show off swimming, something. I don't know. I don't know quite what that is. That's interesting. I don't know. It might make sense to you. All right. It's never too late. It's a matter. It's not. It's not about being too late, honey. It's about, are you ready? And even then, most people are never ready. Sometimes, again, you have to go in feet first. Knight of Wands, the Hermit, Two of Swords. We have to heal ourselves to the confusion. I know one of the motivations here was passion. That's fine. I'm not going to knock you for that. Passion is normal. Passion is real. And it's our first indicator to look at a particular situation or person, or what do we have energy for, just in the general sense. You know, Knight of Wands can be fantastic everyday energy. Goodness knows, I have it every day. Very excited to just partake in daily things in my life because I really believe in them, right? So you get fired up for the day. This, I'm seeing it as, yes, passion for you was a motivator, but it wasn't the only thing here. And that's something that we are trying to shed light on with the Hermit there and the Two of Swords. Okay? Was the passion there? Yes, you don't deny that. But now we're starting to reflect upon this and say, was that the only thing? And the answer was no, of course it wasn't. It wasn't the only thing. There was more to it than that. Yes, they're very attractive, very beautiful. You are, they are. But they also represented that desire. More than that. A hope, a dream, a wish fulfillment. And you're like, that dream could be dead or over. But it's a question mark, honey. You haven't actually answered it. You haven't actually answered the question mark. Because you know there's another road you haven't tried. Like I said, you did B, now try A. You went left, now try going right. You know? If that happens at all. Because, again, tarot doesn't dictate anything. You do. You don't know the freedom. Some of you just don't know the freedom. of saying this is what I feel, and whatever the consequences are, at least, you know, by my own standard, at least I'm relieved of the truth. For having said what I felt, the other person's reaction is the other person's reaction. And if they don't show up in the same space, okay, you can't make someone. But you can be honest and truthful with yourself, you know? Decision time. This is the Divine Timing Oracle deck. You haven't moved on, honey, because you're not ready for it. July. Everybody's getting summer references. June, July. Heavy, heavy references. June, July. We can either believe this thing is over, or we can try the other avenue that we didn't. The one that we got really close to and then backed away from. June, July. For some of you, yeah. Summer energy. For others of you, possibly September. For those of you who are cross-watching, it's not about you. It's about this particular Gemini's process and opening up if they choose to. That's it. So I don't want to hear anything about, well, I'm not waiting. No one's asking you to. And nor should you. More patience is required. So for some of you, some heightened energy around July. For others of you, later into September. And then more patience is required. Yeah, I know. You're not done working through these things. Why that critical decision? Is this really over, or should I express myself? Why that comes up over summer? I couldn't say. But you'll know. Possibly in time. Okay. Regrets. Yes, I know. Summer. There it is again. For some of you, you want to address the regrets over summer. And it's going to take that strength. It's going to take that strength. That would also explain why I literally saw strength hovering around you. It could be, again, indication of summer. When you know absolutely that you are summoning this back, you're already doing it now. But you may not know that it's reaching its peak yet. We want to resolve those regrets, if nothing else. Listen to your intuition. There is the possibility for love here, yes, of course, even though there's heartbreak. So you understand you can still generate love, even if it's out of a heartbreak, and that is resolving through differences. And it could actually be quite the success. It could be quite the success. It's eternal love for some of you. Soul bond energy. Yeah, that's, as I said, past life relationship. Eternal love. Just call it soulmate energy or soul bonding. You know. Our soul bonds can often mirror what's missing within ourselves. And then the opposite is true. So whatever it is that person's missing within themselves, you know, that might be why they are attracted to you. Because you represent a particular strength that they might be lacking. And here I'm seeing it, it's the heart space. You seem to attribute that with them so much, but you give yourself no credit in that regard. Yeah, very interesting. So, some peak energy around summer. I wonder what the thinking around there is. I'm just feeling nosy about that because I've seen summer references for so many people. What is the reasoning behind that? I'm just being nosy at this point. I'm very curious. What is peaking? What's the incentive? What's the situation surrounding summer? What is the situation surrounding the summer? What is the situation surrounding the summer? There seems to be an opportunity for reconnecting under that sense of friendship first, but with a strong foundation behind it. Community work endeavors, common goals, objectives. Putting mutual work into the same thing so that all can benefit. Team up, cooperation, collaboration. Possibly a work project, I don't know. The truth, some of you already know. There they are again. And you? It's something that you can pull together. It's something that you can pull together. It's something that you can pull together. Collaboration, teamwork, community endeavors, everybody benefits if we can cooperate and put our work together. It's a truth that you are familiar with, and it does require you to open up. Open up how? Ask for help. Oh. You asked for help. Interesting. Plot twist. I mean, not really. It's here. It's pre-existing knowledge. You have this knowledge. You two have a highly strong sense of cooperation, collaboration for community-based endeavors. You seem to know this, and it seems to center around the summer timeline. It does require you to open up, be the fool, take a risk, and ask for assistance. And it has to come from you, I believe. It's what looks like a reason that has strong effort behind it. Many people can benefit if you two team up, something like that. Many constituents, stakeholders, stuff like that. The collaboration, as far as I can tell, is simple, but many benefit from it. It's a project of some type where if it comes together, it benefits many people at one time. You seem to know this. You know this, but it does require you to open up, even in the smallest of ways, and ask for help, assistance, or something like that. I just know that it comes from you. And then the cooperation is born. We take this opportunity to collab and work to restructure our connection with this person. And at some point you have the opportunity to reveal your feelings, I believe. How fascinating. Seven of Pentacles. That's a lot of summer energy right there. You're slowly headed in this direction, even though you told yourself not to think about it. You're slowly headed in this direction despite the fact that you've told yourself not to think about it. You've thought about it. It seems to be a realistic 3D working solution, but it does require you to ask for help and or assistance. And if they respond, and I believe they might, because it does look like a healthy construct, then you have the opportunity to mend things, possibly, and express your feelings. But there's one little caveat, as far as I can tell. It requires you to open up and ask for assistance. But you already know this, and you've told yourself not to think about it. Huh. Well, there's the two parts of your brain kicking off, huh? I don't know. That's for some of you. I got very nosy around that because summer seems to be a heightened timeline for so many, so this was for you specifically. But yes, there's even a sense of profit in here through what looks like very basic connectivity and a willingness to work. Many, many benefit. You have working knowledge of this. That's how you make the decision, if you choose to. It starts out with a team up, but with the intention of you eventually at some point opening up about your feelings. There you go. All right, that was very specific, but that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, though. That's what I wanted. That is very interesting. I don't know around that time frame, around July. For some of you, though, the way I keep saying your power card, it's June as well. June, June, June. Lots of June references. Let's just, again, call it summer. Okay, that's enough. Sometimes I could really dig further into some of these areas. It's fascinating. Okay. Well, I'm just a wee bit curious. Let's see what's in here. Honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. For some of you, will be traveling relatively soon for what looks like possibly a wedding connection or some sort of private party where many people are celebrating. That's FYI. Attending someone's wedding, not necessarily your own. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that some of you have travel plans relatively soon to celebrate other people. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be a wedding, but it could be something like anniversary, graduation, stuff like that. There are challenges here. You have to make a decision to work on inner healing, to know what it is that you want to do. Cycles, yes. Something ending, something beginning, something ending, something beginning. Okay. It's been hard to close this out, but it's been hard for you to keep yourself open towards it. That power resides within you, honey. To communicate, simply put. Compromise, forgiving, and working it out. That's literally what communicate says. Compromise, forgiving, working it out. Okay. Open your heart. I told you. See? You're going to find a way, I believe, for the Gemini I'm looking at to communicate with this person. It looks like it has substance behind it, where many people can benefit from two people's work endeavors or many people's work endeavors. It looks like a project, and it has the opportunity to expand the bottom line for somebody's profit margin. It looks like it's centering around summer. And it also looks like it's your entry point to... It does have one thing. You have to ask for assistance. Other than that, you open up into that pathway of reestablishing communication and the opportunity to really speak your heart this time. I see a high level of cooperation, I believe, from this person. I believe they want to help, I think, but they do have to be asked. Okay? All right, that's enough. That was very fascinating. Gemini, just to let you know, the next round of readings I have determined on a new board that I'm going to start introducing on a regular basis to this channel. It's called Moving On. Now, I love the fact that people trust me so much with their emotional worlds. They are very, as you see, extensive and comprehensive. People want to make sense of themselves. There are other people that they're attached to, the relationships they're in, and again, I don't take that lightly. The fact that people trust me so much with their personal stuff is phenomenal, and I don't take that for granted. However, I do want people to see more and more about what real moving on is. And moving on can be a resolution of differences, like with yours. Moving on. I know you told yourself in this one twice to move on from it, and you're struggling with it. That's because you're not done with it. That's because you have unresolved feelings for it. Okay? But I want people to see what real moving on is. And it doesn't have to be love, life goals, pathways, purposes, spiritual endeavors, things like that. And I'd like to see where people became less fixated on love issues. Because honestly, most love issues can be resolved if we understand where it's coming from. But I also want people to see more specifically what could be. So, the next round of readings, approximately 2 weeks from today, everyone's going to be getting a moving on reading. Okay? I'm very excited about it, and I've been looking for a palate cleanser, if you will. A palate cleanser. As a tarot reader, honey, I love what I do. I do. But it can be so extensive. People's love energies and love lives and their thoughts and their feelings, and it can be so terribly extensive, and sometimes I just need a little sorbet, okay, in between courses. All right. Put in the comments as you see fit. On that, it's tempting to give up on this and tell yourself to move on from it. The only reason you haven't, 1, is the bond is much stronger than I think you know. 2, you have feelings in you that have yet to be revealed. And in so doing, somehow we added another layer of fuckery to it and blew things up when we were meant to approach it with more open-heartedness. That's why you haven't let it go. There's stuff to do. And Gemini I'm looking at says it's possible to fix it. I just don't know if I should. The answer is yes. Even if they don't respond, you are still doing right by you. And you will always be your best investment. Okay? Their reaction is not the point. You allowing yourself that honesty for you, for your own good, for your benefit, that is what matters. Again, too many people get fixated on outcome. If I say this and they don't say that, I'm fucked. Something tells me they already said everything that they felt, very much so. You attribute them with that quality so much. I don't think you need to worry about reciprocation. I can't help but feel that this person laid out their feelings multiple times in a very serious, mature way. And you're like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You know what? Instead of saying that, I'm going to say some other shit. I don't know what happened, honey, but it went... It came from a place of fear. Okay. It came from a place of fear. But yes, that's why you're not done with it. Because you're not done with you. You have to give yourself that sense of honor and respect as well. You're a human being as well. So you can say that they're so emotional, they have no problem. That's great, that's them. What about you? Okay. I don't think you need to worry about their reaction so much. They look highly cooperative for the right reasons. Okay. All right. Okay, like I said, that's enough. Put in the comments, you guys. No charms today. Take care. Be well.